Welcome to episode 3 of Reacting. I finally have Matt back. It's been a few months.
Hey.
How does it feel? Are you excited?
Yeah. So today we're going to be reacting to A&E'S interventions. But intervention is basically like addicts in crisis, addicts that don't know how to reach out for help, where somebody like a loved one will usually reach out to try to get them help. And they document the series, and it shows them in their addiction and like the whole process, like their day-to-day, what they use, some of their living conditions, if they work, and then some of the people are like, they know they need help and they'll go through it. Some of them are in denial, and but it just gives you a rundown. It's usually about a 30-40 minute show, but on YouTube they're usually like 10-15 minute clips.
No, but yeah, we had 2 podcast guests, Bill and Amanda. Rest in peace, Bill. We're actually doing a fundraiser thing this Saturday for him. We're doing like a fentanyl awareness gig with Stairway and Spark Life. But yeah, so we're gonna be reacting to A&E's intervention. The thing is, I don't really think it's beneficial for anybody. I feel like a lot of people do use the show as entertainment. Like, oh damn, they're so bad off. And like, they're fucked, you know what I mean? I don't really think they don't do much with the aftercare of getting them help.
I think some of them like go into treatment.
Some of them do go into treatment, but they just send them to treatment. They don't like help and guide afterwards. It's recovery and sobriety. It's not just going to treatment that one time and then you're good. There has to be aftercare. That's what Amanda struggled with, and she talked about that on her podcast. We're kind of just gonna look at this, watch this as 2 addicts in recovery, and see if we relate and identify and see what's going on. Ooh, I find this one interesting. Sarah drinks 40 ounces of vodka a day to cope with earthquake trauma. So we're gonna check out Sarah drinking 40 ounces of vodka. How much is 40 ounces?
40 ounces.
It's 2 pounds of vodka.
Pound and a half.
It's 2.5 pounds. It's 40 ounces. Yeah, so she does 40 ounces of vodka. Poor Sarah. I find it interesting that she's drinking 40 ounces and it says to cope with trauma. Doesn't matter what the trauma is, but for hers is earthquake trauma. I don't know if we're either made addicts or we're born addicts, but a lot of us, not all of us, have had like trauma, and the only thing we know how to do to cope with it is by using substances, drugs or alcohol. So let's see what Sarah's life is like. Are you ready?
Yeah.
And language that may be disturbing to some viewers.
She's everybody's best friend.
She loves kids. She really does. She has an awesome education. She's a bright girl. But as soon as she has that bottle in her hand, that's when the worst side of Sarah comes out.
My first drink. First drink is just like, a relief. Like, I have alcohol now. Like, the rest of the day is fine. But if I just want to get like a good buzz going and feel good for the whole day, I'll stick to beer. Like, if I'm drunk enough tomorrow, yeah, we're coming here and we're doing karaoke. But if I actually want to not remember my night, then I'll go vodka.
Depending on which mood you're in, switching your substance.
You're just drinking your own vodka, right?
Yeah, kind of. But then again, I bought it here, so it kind of evens it out. Can you help me? Like, I just can't. Kids is not working at all.
It's like she's fine, and then all of a sudden she's completely out of her mind.
Yeah, we were gonna drive there, and now there's nothing new.
She's put so much toxins into her body that her body won't last much longer.
So I know that from the moment that I tried alcohol when I was 16 up until before I started using heavier drugs, I was for sure an alcoholic. Shotgunning every beer I had, or just drinking insane amounts of vodka. I would bring bottles of vodka just like that to the club. Yeah. I would go out with my friends, go to bars, and we would do that. We would just drink it straight. And I feel that in a sense, but I never carried. I think until I found meth, because once I had meth, I just wouldn't drink any alcohol. Yeah. But
that was your.
That's a lot though. So 40 ounces. I was just doing some simple math. 40. So I think an ounce and a half is a shot. So 20 shots is 30 ounces, and then the other 10 ounces, about 6 more. 6 times 1.5 is 9. So it's about 26 shots of vodka a day. Straight.
Impressive.
That's a lot, dude.
That's impressive.
She might be an alcoholic.
She might be an alcoholic.
Nah, 30's an alcoholic. She's not there yet.
I'm trying to think of like what I looked like in my addiction, but a lot of my addiction I don't remember. I'm sure I was asleep through a lot of it, like nodding off in a car.
Dude, we used to go out. We would go downtown and, you know, obviously drinks are more expensive. So we'd literally, at the moment we got in the car, we'd drive 30 minutes downtown. We were drinking in the car. I was drinking and driving. We'd get down there. Before we even stepped in the bar, we had something called pull the trigger, right? Where your body has already like absorbed the alcohol content, but like you have liquid blocking, like, so you can't take more. So we would make ourselves throw up. So we'd go to the bar and we'd throw up before we got in the bar, right? So that we could drink more alcohol, come back out, go to the car, drink more, throw up again. We would call it pulling the trigger. So it's definite alcoholism.
My head hurts all the time. My stomach hurts all the time. And until I have a drink, it's when I feel normal.
Eventually something
Drinking to feel normal.
bad's gonna happen, you know what I mean? It's not gonna, you can only get lucky for so long.
Mom, all I want is a bottle of vodka, and you just stop thinking about it and just relax. You're not going to think about it.
She's just telling her not to think about it. That's not good Alan on there. But it's like, what would you tell somebody if they're sitting there begging for it?
Well, dude, our parents have no idea what to do. Like, my dad's not an addict, my mom's not an addict. But I remember my dad, like, when I first went to rehab, he's like, dude, why can't you just stop? They have no idea. So this lady in the video, the mom, like, her daughter's like, please, like,
She literally
has
can't
no idea.
She can't comprehend why someone can't stop.
Of course.
A lot of people can't. That's the stigma around addiction. It's like, why can't you just put the bottle down? Why can't you just stop using?
Why can't I just put my vape down? Why can't I just not hit two at the same time?
It's just not that simple. It's just not. And it's so hard for me to explain it, right?
Yeah,
it's just like, it's like deeper than that. Almost like that your instinct becomes like, I need to drink to feel okay.
I'm gonna drink no matter what.
I'm gonna drink no matter what. Yeah.
Basically thinks her body runs off alcohol. She thinks she'll die tomorrow if she doesn't get that next drink.
I need it. You've got some.
And that's what it actually
I'm just
feels
waiting
like.
for the anger to start coming in, because I know that I've been in fitted rages when I don't get what I want. Like in that, like the substance or money, or I'd be like manipulating my parents when I was a kid, like because I needed alcohol. You know, I'd be, please, like I just need to go get this shirt. Like I'm gonna go on a date. Like you want it, and then I manipulate. I'm like, you want me to like look bad on this date, or and when in reality, like I needed it to go buy alcohol.
Yeah. Dude, yes, I've done that. I've witnessed that as well. That's some real shit.
And then when it got really bad, I remember I would like steal my parents' stuff, right? Like my dad he would go on bike rides every day, and we had like an automatic closing garage, right? So he would just leave on his bike and do like a 20-30 mile bike ride, and the garage, he would never physically close it, it would close on its own. So I started stealing his tools and pawning them, and then he started noticing, and I was like, he's like, dude, do you know where like this and this went? I'm like, dude, you should probably like lock the doors or like close the garage when you're like leaving on your bike ride. I bet you somebody's stealing it. And for a while, like, I could until too many were going missing. And he finally actually went to a pawn store down the street, found something that I pawned, and realized that I pawned it. And then he started putting locks on the doors, like on his bedroom door. Like
That's some real shit. That's some real shit.
A lot of something in your system. I'm afraid of what'll happen if she keeps drinking. She will die.
Sarah was really good. Until about high school.
It's always in high school.
Sarah has always been very self-conscious about herself. I've always had like an issue with like self-esteem, self-confidence. I feel like every female kind of goes through that, but for me, I think I'm way more strict on myself.
When she was at school one day, one of the boys had called her fat. That's when she decided that she was going to do something about it.
That's when I kind of started like watching what I was eating, you know, counting calories, and I went like really overboard.
Dude, that's a huge thing. Kids in high school and kids in middle school, teenagers feel the need to this perfection thing. And that also...
It's social pressure.
Social pressures. Somebody just called her fat, for example, and it's just like, all right, so she's in her head that's saying, okay, I'm gonna lose weight. I'm gonna do whatever I can to be perceived as skinny, because the way they're using fat is in a negative connotation. And even with like social media nowadays, it's just we automatically compare ourselves to other people.
Yeah, of course.
The way we look.
Yeah.
And that affects so many teenagers' like mental health nowadays.
I don't even think it's just teenagers. I think it's old people.
I mean, yeah.
You know?
I'm no longer a teenager, and crosses my head.
I still have some kind of body dysmorphia. You know, it's a real thing.
And it just depend, like certain people really do negative things about it. They could go to starving yourself, being really strict on what you eat, you know what I mean? Like what she was saying, counting calories, starving could lead to eating disorders, bulimia, just to feel good about yourself because of like how other people are perceiving you. Like my happiness depends on how you perceive me. That's some real shit. And it's a big thing.
So people pleasing.
People pleasing, yeah.
Yeah, that was my thing, people pleasing for sure.
And it's like, why do we feel the need, a lot of us being addicts feel the need to, not all, but a lot, feel the need to people please. That was my big thing as well.
Because I just want you to like me.
Seeking validation externally. And then now, in sobriety and recovery, we have to look internally.
Was the tsunami and the earthquake that rocked the world.
Where does she live?
Felt the earthquake and everything, and like the aftershock.
I'm not sure.
We were kind of bummed out because our trip got cut short.
She was there. She was very angry. She had to come home. And when she came home and seen why, she felt guilty for feeling angry. She felt very bad for the people over there. For some reason, Sarah was singled out to be the child that they showed all over Canada.
Oh,
it
God.
was Sarah's picture that was on all of the newspapers, on all of the TVs. When she started watching the newscasts, she felt a very deep sense of guilt.
It was weird and overwhelming. My anxiety got intensified.
Sarah went into her bedroom. For about 3 weeks, all she did was go to school and come home to her bedroom. Barely eat, she barely spoke to us at all. And then we find out later on that's when she was drinking. She was hiding alcohol in her room every night. We thought she was drinking a lot.
So she went to Japan and...
There's a major earthquake and tsunami and...
Yeah, I remember that
she was
happening.
stuck there. I don't even remember. I was drinking when that happened.
No, that's crazy. Almost, I think it was kind of like survivor's guilt because it said she was safe.
Yeah.
It was survivor's guilt.
And then her face was on every like news outlet and like seeing her face every day. Like,
I'd probably drink her.
That scared me too, man.
Yeah.
You know? Okay, so now she's in her room for 3 weeks straight drinking. This is when her addiction starts to kick off.
And then even then, just to point out, she was already like struggling, like spiritually and internally struggling.
Yeah, she had body dysmorphia, and now she's just had a traumatic incident.
Yeah.
And she's now isolation drinking. Mm-hmm. Which is not good.
Yeah. So, yeah, low self-esteem, like all those things that kind of just like a lot of discomfort. And now she doesn't know, I'm assuming she doesn't have a solution. She doesn't know like who to talk to, how to talk about it, how to process the feelings properly. So, okay.
I visited her twice, maybe 3 times. Sarah drank a whole 26 years. She'd puke, she'd drink more, she'd repeat.
I got calls 3 o'clock in the morning. You know, the cops have just gone and got her. She's at the hospital.
I started noticing the money missing. I found many of 40 ouncers, 26ers, Mickeys.
My dad kept telling her over and over again, you know, if you bring any more alcohol into the house, you're getting kicked out. And as soon as he found out she was drunk, he said, all right, enough's enough. We got her to pack up a backpack, throw a coat on. I actually kicked her out, said you have to get going.
In a way, sometimes that can be very beneficial to somebody struggling with alcoholism or addiction, their parents kicking them out. Because in a way, I feel like if they keep taking advantage of the parents and like that place of living, it's enabling, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so that's sometimes a really good thing to do is kind of drawing that boundary.
I think it's but the kid's gonna take it either two ways. Either A, she's gonna like, oh my God, like I really have a problem, I gotta get my shit together. Or B, my parents don't love me, they just kicked me out. Now she's got abandonment issues and her addiction really takes off.
Yes, those are the two ways it can go, 100%. But if it takes off, sometimes they can have that experience there, or it could just really be bad and lead to death, or be a lot worse, and they can hit a lot worse.
Yeah, you're on the streets, man. Like you're away from your family. You're in a cruel world.
Yeah.
And being a girl in that cruel world is like
it's hard. Yeah. So yeah.
We can't function as a family with Sarah, you know, fighting this battle. You know, I'm not giving her any money. Cut all ties.
My dad and my brother don't really talk to me. So, you know, they completely don't trust me anymore just because I lied over so much.
Bro, same.
It's just so wrapped around Sarah. She's believing every word that she
Go ahead, talk about that. 2 DUIs.
Yeah, so I love it when I'm not the only one who gets a DUI. Because I feel so alone in that sometimes. In 11 months of drinking and using, I accumulated 3 DUIs. Happened really fast and a lot. And my first one, I was like, that was just shit luck. You know what I mean? My second one, I was like, that fucking sucks. That's when I noticed, oh, this might be an issue, but I still kept going.
And the third one.
It kind of opened my eyes a little bit. I didn't want to do anything about it or know what to do about it, so I just kept going. You know what I mean?
Which one did you crash the car?
My first and second.
First and second.
My first and second, I totaled both cars. But then when I got my third, that's when I was like, all right, this is getting out of hand. That's when I was like, but a lot of people don't, like, you could hurt somebody driving drunk, you know what I mean? You don't take that into consideration.
Of course.
I don't know. They were really beneficial for me, and I wouldn't have gotten sober.
I remember this one time, probably my closest time to like really getting fucked. I was downtown, I was Buckhead, and I was with some friends who were partying, and like, we were really drunk, but it was like time to go home, you know, and we were all crashing at a buddy's house, and I was driving, and they're like, okay, you know, we're gonna call up an Uber or whatever, and I was like, dude, I don't wanna get towed. My car was like parked in a spot, and I was like, I don't wanna get towed, I wanna get ticket. I'm like, dude, fuck that, let's drive home. Like, I'll drive, I'm good, you know? So I'm on the highway, and I'm in the left lane, and I'm so I've got such bad spins that like I'm looking at the lines, and this line is in the center of my line, so I'm like, I think that I'm splitting lanes and shit, so I'm like driving with one eye. So I'm driving with one eye home, right? And then a cop gets behind me, and I'm like, I'm so fucked, right? Like everybody in the car is like, like keistered up, and man, after that, I can't say that I never drove drunk again, but I never drove that drunk ever again.
You see, dude, it just takes what it takes. It takes what it takes to learn, you know what I mean? And with addicts, you're just so fucking persistent.
Oh yeah, because we like to ride the line.
Yeah.
Right? Like right on the line.
Yeah.
It's a thrill.
How can I get away, like how much can I get away with this? Yeah, 100%.
I would ride with this, it's only illegal if you get caught.
Okay.
Sure, you're good, safe, you know what I mean?
She's always the one to give in. My sister knows that.
Can you run in, please? Please?
Have you drank anything today?
No.
Why don't you try to go just today without it?
Okay, seriously.
If I go in, it's just to get the edge off, just so you're not feeling good?
Yeah, and I'll save it for tomorrow.
You swear it?
Yes.
It's all lies.
Get drunk.
No.
Do you promise it's going to last you a couple of days?
Yeah.
No.
It sounds so unbelievable to me. I mean, duh, but her mom really wants to believe her.
Well, dude, like,
So
the parent dynamic is she cares about her and she loves her and she doesn't want her to die. Yeah, and you're right. She wants to believe that maybe she wants to help herself, but when you're in your addiction, you know,
it's
like
all bullshit.
it's all bullshit. Yeah. I mean, there's a part of you inside. I feel like, you know, we get to these bottoms, like especially when we're using, right? And we know we want to stop using, like, because we hate it. But we get to a certain point when we're using it that we're like, nah, like I'm good or whatever. But then like we come down and we like get some kind of clarity and we're like, holy fuck, I have a problem, I need to take care of this. And I know that like maybe at some point when she talks to like her mom at that point where like she's like, I do need help me or whatever, like she's being serious, and like this is the part that her mom like sees that she's trying to help. But when she's in this state, right, this is like the I absolutely need it, like I don't care about you, I only care about me, you know?
Yeah, and she's like just taking advantage of her mom here.
Dude, I remember talking to a lady yesterday where it was exactly that, and her husband was telling me, you know, he's like, we need to get her into treatment like right now, you know, because if she sobers up a little bit, like she's gonna think she doesn't have a problem, she's not gonna go.
Yeah, it gets to a point where they know the way they are, the way they act, the way, like almost their thought process with it.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
Or even like peers around you, like peers that love you will pick up on it because they care about you. And
yeah, this whole pattern and cycle, it's a horrible cycle.
This addiction, your addiction, has consumed my life. My heart and soul are exhausted.
Is this the intervention right now?
If you do not accept this help, I will have no choice but support your dad and your brother in their decisions to not support your addictions any longer. And as much as that kills me to say, I mean it. I have to save myself.
That's a painful thing for a mom to say.
Well, I see that in supporting it, I'm enabling her. And I can't do that anymore because I'm killing her.
When you're sober, you're an amazing person to be with. You're funny, outgoing, energetic, and you're such a smart girl. When you're drinking, you're careless, and you cut yourself out from us. I have seen things that no younger brother should have ever seen. Sarah, today you will have an opportunity of your lifetime. And the reason I say your lifetime is because I believe this is your last chance at life.
So it's my job to ask you, are you ready to accept help today, Sarah?
Is she gonna do it?
Yeah, I'll go.
Yay!
dude, I got teary-eyed there.
Really?
I'm not gonna lie. When the brother was saying what he was saying, I got like.
For some reason, it just hits different with a sibling. I don't know what it is about it. Like, if my brother would have said that to me, I'd be like, oh, yeah, stop.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, dude, stop.
No.
Don't do this.
Well, yeah.
No, that's real.
He's like, you're gonna die. Like, this is your last chance.
That's literally the reality of the situation. It's really jails, institutions, or death. It leads to those three always.
Yeah. And everybody's crying. Like, it's
everybody's crying. It's
super emotional time.
Yeah. True intervention.
I'll go. I'll go. I'll go. Look at your family. Good choice. You'll go. You'll get healthy there. You'll get the tools.
Now she's gonna go get help. Now it's all about, yeah, you can get a good 30 days in treatment, but now let's see what she does with it. I don't know.
Right. I wish they did a follow-up.
They might do those. Actually, I don't know if they do. Wait, let's see. There's only a minute left.
I didn't think it was possible for me to actually be capable of living a sober, healthy life.
Just in the gym, bro.
Yeah.
Without the alcohol, I'm a pretty independent person. I'm creative. I found I love writing. It's just amazing. I'm just looking forward to my life because I got my whole life ahead of me now.
Do you see that? We should play back. We should play back to her at her intervention, what she looks like. That, right? Maybe a little bit less. Yeah, dude, look at that, right? So out of shape, the hygiene, right? The messy hair, like she's going through it, and then she gets a little sober. Even just 3 months, she's in the gym. Look how much significantly healthier she is. Mm-hmm. You know, like, let's see, a better face. There you go, little face shot. Pink, healthy. Look how clear she is, right? The hair looks nice, right? There's no acne. She looks happy.
Yeah. So yeah, there are sometimes you can physically see how much healthier a person gets.
Fuck yeah.
But you know,
gym's a major part, not just physically, but like mentally.
I think recovery in general. Yeah.
I know you've been hitting the weights.
Yeah, I try. No, but yeah, sometimes you can really see that. You can just see it in somebody when when they're healthier.
I love when people like first get clean and you see what they come in as, and you're like, holy shit, that guy's dying.
Yeah.
You know, and then they get a little bit of sobriety, they go through rehab, they get to sober living, they got this fire in their heart, right? And they're just like a brand new person. Like, that's just so attractive.
Yeah, and then it's just, dude, it's so much work though.
It is. Yeah, I'm not gonna say it's easy.
Yeah, but for me, I personally had a fire for life. I was like, let's do this fucking thing. Yeah. Let's fucking go. But a lot of people like, I hate to see it though that a lot of people do struggle in the beginning. Like they didn't have that like what I had when I first got sober. I was so fucking excited.
I think it's all wants. Like, do you want to change your life? Do you want to drop everything that you used to do, all the people that you used to hang out with, the areas, like, do you want to have a new life? Like, it's all a desire, you know? But I think having a certain bottom, some kind of traumatic bottom, plays a major role in like how, like when people are on their knees physically, like they have no fucking choice but to get clean to save their life or save something in their life, like they do better, you know? I noticed for myself that like I was at a major turning point in my life that like when I came in, let's say 2021, I was 25 and I was like, holy shit, like my dad's like in his 50s, like, you know, I'm 25, I want to have kids when I'm like 33 to 35. I'm like I need to be sober so that I could like start a life or start a family. And then when my parents, like my dad's healthy, thank God, but like, what if they're not healthy? What if he gets a heart attack? Who the fuck is gonna take care of him, right? He took care of me, now it's like my turn. This is like a major turning point in my life where I need to like start over.
Yeah, you saw you needed to step up and you actually saw that you had goals and dreams and aspirations.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, and then it's all like a process.
It's such a different thing getting a clear head, a clear mind.